Studying communication for 3 years, and in this video I'm going to share with you exactly how you can step by step master communication. Now before I get into it, it's very important for me to state that communication is an overarching concept. There's so many different crevices in it. There's so many micro things you need to learn about. You need to learn about sales. You need to learn about persuasion. You need to learn about presentation, social skills, body language. There's so many different aspects of it. If I were to explain to you every single aspect of communication for you to become a master, it would take me an eternity. It would take me hours and hours and hours. I simply don't have the time for that. I can't just sit here and not eat any food or drink water for the next 24 hours. So I made the communication lab. That's what that's for. However, what I am going to do is I'm going to give you an all-encompassing video that's going to give you the absolute essentials to master communication. Let's say I had a few hours to live and I was the fucking world genius on communication, and I'd argue that I am right now. And I have to give you all the fucking communication knowledge I know for you to become a master communicator in the next 3 hours. This is the video I would make. It's going to be that kind of video. So I hope you're excited. It's probably not going to take 3 hours. It might take 30 minutes, 20 minutes, however long this video go for. This might be one of my longest videos I've ever made on mastering communication. So I hope you're excited. I'm about to give so much fucking game away. It's going to be life-changing, so I highly recommend you get a notepad, you get a paper. If you're on a laptop right now, open the Notes app and start taking notes, because this shit is going to change your life. Now, what do I mean communication is going to change your life? It's very important for me to talk about just how powerful communication is. Now, I already know you're interested in learning communication and becoming a master communicator because you clicked on this video. Obviously, you want to learn about communication. You already have some intrinsic understanding on why it's important. However, people severely underestimate how powerful communication is. Communication is a fucking superpower. Communication can make you a fucking multi-millionaire. Think about salesmen. If you're working at a sales place, let's say a car dealership, and you're a salesman, you're going to make a lot of money off of sheer communication. That's all what salesmen do. That's all they do. They just communicate exceptionally well. They persuade the person and they get fucking money from the sky. It's that simple. I heard sales job was one of the best jobs you can get, actually. I heard this on the internet. So I might look into a sales job, honestly, for my next job if I get one. But yeah, it's a side note. Sales literally speaking and generating money from thin air. Another reason why communication is a superpower is because you can influence people. Think about world leaders. If you think about the journey of a world leader, like a politician, they rally, they make these ad campaigns. All they're doing is communicating themselves in a way in which the audience, the people of their country, will elect them to office. So they go to these rallies, they do certain body language things like show their hands, they speak in a calm manner. They have different body language. They're trained with this shit. They're just trying to communicate in a way that's going to make the people trust them and elect them to the office. That's all politics is. If you want to become a president, you just communicate, you talk about the promises you're going to make, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to fucking make this economy great. It's going to be awesome. All you're doing is communicating. And all of a sudden, people elect you into office and you have power now. You're sitting behind nuke buttons. So that's the power of communication. I can go on and on and on about how communication is a superpower. I want to finish off with this one thing because I think it's very important that you know this powerful skill. This is one of the superpowers of the planet. People talk about fitness, people talk about fighting. Yeah, it's very important, but people severely underestimate the power of communication. If you're a master communicator, right, you'll be mastering, or you would already have mastered, the highest return on investment skill on the planet. Because if you think about it, everything is communication. If you're on a date, you're communicating. If you're making a joke, communicating. You're doing sales, communicating. You're trying to become a world politician and gain power, you're communicating. If you're a human, you're communicating. You're communicating almost every single day unless you're a social retard. And if you're a social retard, congratulations, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to master communication, and you're going to become more social. Congratulations, because being a social retard is not fun. That used to be me. I used to be in the back of class. I wouldn't say a word because I just didn't know how to speak in a way in which people want to listen and talk to me. Now I know how to do that, and now I've been more social than I've ever been in my entire life, and my life quality has skyrocketed. And by the end of this video, the same thing is going to happen to you. Whether you just want to master communication, or you're a social retard and you want to get better at speaking so you can have a better social life, this is the fucking video. Congratulations, you landed on the right spot. I'm about to drop some fucking knowledge. Now that I've established that communications is fucking superpower, one of the superpowers of the world that you can harness and no one else is gonna take away from you because it's rare. It's fucking rare. It's rare as diamonds. Communication. It's very rare you come across someone who's fucking phenomenal at communicating. Seriously. So if you have this skill, you're gonna become high value and you're gonna change your life. Now, I want to now get into some tangible stuff on how you can actually become a master communicator. So now you're sitting there, you're like, oh boy, I can't wait to master communication because it's a fucking superpower. I'm gonna be the fucking man, yeah. That's what I'm gonna talk about now. So, how do you actually become a master communicator? Yeah, I was talking a whole bunch of shit. Fucking rarest skill on the planet, highest return on investment, blah, blah, blah. How do I communicate? How do I master communication? The way you're going to master communication and the way you master anything is by doing it in the hardest possible variation there is. If you want to become a master three-point shooter and you're sitting at that three-point line, and let's say you're good enough to shoot 10 in a row, 10 threes in a row, easy as cake, snap of a finger, done. If you're that good, you're going to stagnate unless you make the practice harder. So maybe instead of doing 10 three-pointers in a row, what you can do is, gotta burp real quick. Excuse me, I just ate. I don't give a fuck. But let's say you can make 10 three-pointers in a row, right? You make 10, now you're gonna make it harder in order for you to improve. So let's say maybe you do a sidestep three-pointer. You do a fucking 360 three-pointer, a jumping away from the basket three-pointer, whatever it is. You gotta make it harder in order for you to improve. So that's very important. So speaking, yeah, you might be talking to your friends or whatever. Maybe you don't even talk to your friends. That gives reps in communication. That's gonna help you construct sentences in your brain coherently. However, if you want to reach the next level, if you want to become better than everyone else on the planet at communication, then you need to make the practice harder. And even if you don't have reps, even if you're an introvert, you don't say a fucking word to anyone, you still need to practice this way because it's going to be the best practice you could possibly do, which is sitting in front of the camera like I am now and speaking. That's all you have to do. This is how you're going to practice communication. Now you might be thinking, oh, what do I talk about? How long do I do it for? I'm going to answer that right now. So what you're going to do is, in order to practice communication, you're going to sit in front of the camera, whether it's your phone, whether it's your Mac, your laptop, whatever, anything that records you. You're going to sit down in front of it. You're going to think of a topic in your brain. Alright, and you're going to use this framework, the PREP framework. It's point, reason, example, point. PREP. This framework is going to fucking save your life. This framework is going to allow you to make coherent points and not ramble and not say bullshit. It's very important that you start with this PREP framework and then you can move on to more intricate things, intense things. I wish I started with this PREP framework. When I first started speaking on camera, trying to master communication, I was rambling. I was talking about fucking bullshit. I was talking about I was yapping. I was literally yapping. Fuck, got allergies. Fuck it. So I was just yapping. So I wish I started with this PREP framework. So what you're going to do is, you're going to think of any topic you know well. Let's say you pick football, for example. Right? You're going to make a point about football. So that's the first thing. PREP. P-R-E-P. For the first P, you're going to pick a point. Let's say you picked football. Alright, I'm going to make one off the top of my head. Football is the best sport on planet Earth. That's the point I'm going to make. So you're going to press record on the camera. and you're going to record yourself for about 2 minutes, or as long as it takes. At first, you're not going to be able to speak for 2 minutes. Try to reach 2 minutes. That's the goal, right? So you make a point about football. Okay. Football is the greatest sport on the face of the earth. Now you move on to the R. Reason. Why is football the best sport on the planet? Well, let's see. You have big athletes, WWE size. They're moving super fast. They're making crazy hits, crazy plays. But at the same time, football is also like a chess match. It's strategic. There's deception. There's strategy from the coaches on the sideline. That's what makes football the greatest sport on the face of the planet. And that's the last P. You got to wrap up the point. That's what makes football the best sport on the face of the planet. So I started off by football is the best sport. I ended with that's why football is the best sport. That's what you're going to do for about 2 minutes, okay? You're going to make a point, make it an interesting point. You're going to explain the point, and then you're going to reiterate it. That's how you practice communication. Especially at first, this is very important that you use this framework, because then you're going to waffle. You're going to talk about bullshit. Start talking about fucking space. You're going to talk about boxing, whatever it is. You need to use this framework at first, and then you can start getting more and more advanced. So that's how you're going to practice communication. Now, the middle part, the R and E, it's very loose. You got to explain it. That's the best way I'm going to put it. It might as well be PEP. But you can explain things with different stuff. You can explain that with an example. Let's say I said football is the best sport on the face of the planet. I want to pick E instead of R. I'll say, yeah, I was playing football the other day and whatever. I joined this fucking rec league and I was playing and there was a whole bunch of guys. We gathered around and I caught the one-handed pass. I scored a touchdown and I really enjoy football. That's why football is the best sport on the planet. Whatever. Just pick something to explain. Whether it's a reasoning, whether it's an example, a story, whatever it is. Explain the point and then reiterate the point. That's how you're going to practice, and that's going to allow you to make coherent points. You're going to sound like a smartass after this, and people are going to understand you clearly now because you know this framework, PREP, prep. So what you're going to do is you record yourself for 2 minutes. It's very difficult because you're given 100% input. That's why recording yourself is the best way to practice. It's the hardest way to practice. You're given 100% input in. Imagine if I was trying to practice communication by talking to someone. It'd be 50-50. I say something, they say something. With the camera, it's 100% input. I'm occupying you with my speaking alone, and that's what makes this difficult. You're not giving any input. So if you master this, you're going to master conversations. Conversation is going to be a fucking piece of cake. So this is how you want to practice. And what you're going to do now, you recorded yourself for 2 minutes, correct? That's done. Wrap. Now that you recorded yourself, you're going to re-watch yourself. Analyze yourself. Analyze what you like about your speaking. Analyze what you don't like about your speaking. Analyze if you're boring or not. Analyze why you're boring. Did you say a bunch of filler words? Do you sound like a dumbass? Are you ending your sentences with a higher pitch? Whatever it is, find out what you don't like. There's going to be a lot of things you don't like at first. Trust me. There's going to be a lot of things. But you need to figure out what's wrong with how you speak. Do you say a whole bunch of filler words? Chances are the very first thing you're going to notice is that you're going to say loads of filler words. And the first way you get rid of that, that's going to be the first thing you're going to work on. Just removing the filler words like like. How you're going to remove that is by just pausing. That's all you have to do. Just fucking pause. Alright? Anytime you get the urge to say a filler word, just don't say anything. I don't care if you're sitting there on camera and you sit there for 30 seconds straight because you don't know what to say next. Just pause. As long as you don't say and you'll be good. Just pause. Don't say a word and then think of the next thing to say and then the next thing to say. And then over time, the pauses are going to shrink. It's going to be 25 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds. It's going to be 3 seconds. All of a sudden, you don't even need to pause. All of a sudden, you're talking as fast as I can. So that's how you completely remove filler words from your speech. Use the pause. I've paused multiple times in this video. It's not awkward. Even when you're out in conversation, just fucking pause. You're saying something, you don't know what you're gonna say. Sit there, pause for a moment, think, and then say something. It's very natural. It's not weird at all. I paused multiple times. I'm pausing after everything I say. Is it weird? No. It's okay to pause. That's how you get rid of filler words. The more you do it, the shorter the pauses will get and the more coherent and fast you'll be able to speak. So that's the first thing you're going to notice. And this is just a side note. I forgot to mention this earlier. A lot of you don't want to watch yourself back. It's fine to watch yourself back. But there's going to be a lot of resistance for you because you don't like listening to your voice. You think it's high pitched. You think it's ugly. Listen, I'm going to tell you something that's going to completely change the way you think about your voice. When you listen to yourself back on audio, the microphone on this phone, on this microphone, it compresses your voice. So it actually makes it sound different. That's not actually how you sound in real life. So even if you hate your voice, even if you're going to cringe, even if you don't want to look at yourself on camera, I'm telling you, bro, it's perfectly fine. That's not how your voice sounds. Your voice sounds different in real life. It probably sounds more resonant and deep. I say that because you're probably a dude watching this. So don't be afraid to rewatch the videos and don't cringe at your own voice because that's not how your voice actually sounds. On top of that, it's not how you actually look either. Well, it is how you actually look, but you're going to think you look ugly on camera, but it's not true. The reason why you think you look ugly on camera is because you look in the mirror and you're seeing a reflection of yourself. How people see you is how they see you when you record yourself. That's how they actually see you. You in the mirror is not what you actually look like, but you're going to think you're ugly because you've never seen yourself like that, because you've been looking in the mirror your whole life. So whatever you look like on the video and whatever you sound like, you automatically sound 2x better in real life and you automatically look 2x better in real life. That shit on the audio and the video, don't cringe at that. That's not exactly how you look. Don't be self-critical on yourself because that's going to be a major roadblock for you motherfuckers. Not recording. Don't let that stop you from becoming a master communicator. Now that's just a side point. I'm going to move on with the video. Because I know you watching this, like, oh, I don't want to record myself. No, you got to get over it, bro. I love my voice. You might be thinking, well, you have a deep voice. But I didn't like my voice listening to it back on camera. But eventually I got used to it. I realized that the microphone was compressing it. I didn't like how it looked on camera either. I realized that that's not how I actually look. Because I've been looking at myself in the mirror every single day. And I see myself on camera, see what I actually look like, and I don't like it. It's scientifically proven that you're more self-critical on yourself than anyone is on you. People think you're more attractive than what you think you are. Alright? Don't let that stop you. Now I'm going to move on. Now, I talked about the pauses, right? That's how you remove the filler words. But the next thing you're going to notice is that you're extremely fucking boring on camera. You probably never realize this. You're extremely boring. And once you do this for the first time, you're going to realize that. You're be like, holy fuck, how can I even listen to this? I sound like a bitch. I sound like a retard. I can't listen to this. The way you're going to fix that is by 10xing your energy. And the reason why is because when you're on camera, it doesn't come off the right way. You know, if I talk normally how I would in real life, I'd come across as very low energy on camera. So on camera, you need to 10x your energy in order for the entertainment aspect and the energy aspect to come through the lens when you're watching it back. So whenever you're on camera, you're going to realize you're boring, you're going to realize you're low energy. The way you fix that is by 10xing your energy, and that's automatically going to make you 10x more entertaining. So those are the two major problems you're going to notice after you record yourself. And that's how you fix them. I'll just give you some major fucking game. If you don't learn anything else in this video, learn this shit. Remember this, take notes on this. You record yourself speaking, you pause, you raise your energy. That's going to do wonders for you. That would be worth the entire fucking video. If you get that down, I promise you your life's going to change. I'm going to move on to some other stuff now. Like body language and fucking words and shit. That's the main thing. So what you're going to do now, this is the protocol. You're going to record yourself 2 minutes. Watch it back. analyze it, see where you made a mistake, see where you could have said a word, which you didn't. You're going to do that 3 times in a row every single day. Record, analyze, record, analyze, record, analyze. Do it back to back to back. If you do that every single day, and you constantly analyze, you're constantly trying to improve, you're constantly trying to remove filler words, you're constantly trying to become more entertaining, I'm telling you, you're going to master communication in no time. Probably way faster than I did. Make sure you're using that prep framework as well. It took me about a year for me to get to this level. I've been practicing communication on camera for about a year. I got to this level, so I didn't know about the prep until a few months ago. So if you use the prep and you can speak in coherent sentences and you don't ramble, then I'm telling you, you're going to make progress much faster than I did. It took an eternity for me to get good. Alright? You're going to get good in the snap of a finger, bro. You follow that protocol, that's going to change your life. Now I'm going to move on to body language, because if you don't know, body language is 55% of communication. Body language, I'm going to say that again. Body language is 55% of communication. You thought communication was just speaking. No. The way you move your hands, the way you're looking at the camera, the way you hold yourself, the way you move, it's all related to communication. So it's very important that you get this down. Now, when you're recording, right, you want to be looking at the camera. So when you're practicing, just make sure you look at the camera, because if I'm looking around, this video is going to be super boring. Gotta look at the camera, okay? That's just a side note for when you're doing your recording and analyzing sessions. That's the one thing, but eye contact as a whole, it portrays confidence. That's something you want to be doing. You want to look at someone in the eyes. Don't be a creep about it. But you want to make sure you're making eye contact in order to be perceived as confident, because naturally humans, we want to be confident. We want to be perceived as confident. So eye contact is going to do that for you. And the way you look someone in their eyes without being creepy about it is by using this one tactic called sticky eyes. That's what I call it. It's where you look at the camera, someone's eyes, but then you slowly move your eyes off as if there's like Laffy Taffy. Imagine there's fucking Laffy Taffy, like a sticky candy, connecting your eyes to the other person's eyes. And every time you try to look away, it's like stretching, trying to pull it back to the eyes, right? That's how you want to do it. So it's going to look something like this. I'm looking away slowly, and then I bring it back, and then I'm looking away slowly, and then I bring it back to the camera. That's how you want to make eye contact with people. And I think someone tried this once, and they ended up getting better service from their waiter. That's just a side note, but they ended up getting better service from their waiter, because what it does is it builds rapport, it builds connection. If you're making eye contact with someone, it shows that you're connecting. What do they say? They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. And that's extremely true. It's very hard to connect with someone unless you're looking in their eyes. So make sure you do that. You're going to be perceived as more confident, and you're going to be not perceived, but you're going to build a lot more rapport. Now, that's a small aspect of body language. Like I said, I wanted to make this video as essential as possible. So I'm going to try to teach you the big concepts. The only reason why I taught you that small concept about the eyes is because it relates to your practice too. You want to make sure you're looking at the camera. However, I'm going to teach you the big concepts, the highest return on investment concepts. Because all the little shit, all the eye shit, the fucking hands, which direction you point, whether it's palm up, palm down, all that shit, I put it in the communication lab. That's why I made that. If you want to join and master communication, you can check it out in the description. That's where you'll learn the other 50% of communication. This video alone should get you 50% towards becoming a master communicator. The other 50, communication lab. Now, I'm going to teach you the big concepts though. So like I said earlier, us humans, we want to be perceived as confident. So how do you be perceived as confident? Well, the number one way I've seen people do this with their body language is by having combative body language. Now, what does this mean? It doesn't mean you're fucking squared up. It doesn't mean you're fucking Timmy Tough Knuckles walking around, bumping shoulders with everyone. What it means is you don't look like a victim. That's something you never want to do. I think they did a study or something on robbers or thieves, people who rob you on the street. Those robbers, they specifically look for people that are slouched over, they're on their phone, they don't look like they have a 10-inch dick, and they're just looking down, they have low self-esteem. They look for those people, and they look as those people as prey. And those are the ones they rob. They don't rob the guys who's walking around with his shoulders back, looking up, looking around, alert, hands out of the pockets, no phone in hand. They don't target those people. They target the people that are slouching, look like fucking betas. So you want to have combative body language. One second, let me just check something, bro. Okay. Alright, well, I had to take a break. Alright, I'm back. I just had to check something real quick, because I thought someone was at the door. Now, where was I? Yeah, I was talking about combative body language. So, combative body language, what this is, yeah, I told you it's not fucking Timmy Tough Knuckles bullshit. Combative body language is not looking like a victim. So make sure you're always ready to fight. You don't have to be squared up, you don't have to be fucking yelling and shit or ready to fucking pounce, but just look like that if there was a fight that was about to happen and you were to be attacked, make sure you're ready for it. Make sure his hands are out of pockets. You don't look like a victim. Combative body language, it does multiple things, and really combative body language was the only body language that has ever mattered since the beginning of time, because it made women attracted to you and it made men respect you. So if you have combative body language, you'll automatically be perceived as more confident. That's the first thing. And the second kind of body language you need to know is to look like a winner. I want you to think about it this way. Let's say there was a boxing match, right? Let's say you're boxing this guy and you're losing. It's pretty close to 50-50, right? You got some punches, they got some punches. But let's say you think you're losing, right? It's 50-50. So the judge, he can choose whether or not who won based on who was more dominant. That's how boxing works. So if it's 50-50, and the judge looks at your body language and you look like a fucking loser, you fucking slouched over, you look defeated, he's gonna give the win to the other guy. If it's 50-50 and you're fucking waving your hands in the air like, yeah, I'm the fucking man, you're fucking pounding your chest, you look like a winner, the judge's gonna pick you over that guy. So you need to look like a winner. Even if the fucking worst thing in the world happened to you, you just got fucking dunked on in basketball, because that's the worst thing that could happen to you. You got dunked on in basketball, get up and look like a winner, bro. People are naturally gonna brush it off. They're gonna forget about that because you treat yourself like a winner, you move around like a winner, and people are gonna treat you like that, alright? So that's the number one and number two things, the main concepts of body language you need to adapt into your life if you want to be perceived as more confident, right? The third thing with body language is your hands, right? So I'm on camera. Imagine if I was sitting like this and I was just talking to you like this the entire time without moving my hands, without moving around. You see how this is very, very boring? However, if I'm moving my hands, if I'm doing shit, I'm fucking acting like I'm boxing and shit, it's more engaging. So as long as you're trying to move your hands, you're going to be automatically more entertaining. You don't have to have fucking perfect body language, right? You don't have to act out things you're doing perfectly. But as long as you're trying to move your hands, you'll be good. I heard this one thing from Mike Tyson's boxing coach. He said, as long as you're trying to be agile, you'll be good in the ring. You won't get hit by punches. As long as you're trying to. You don't have to perfectly dodge every one. As long as you're just trying to. It's the same thing with hand movements. As long as you're trying to move your fucking hands around, you will be good. You'll automatically be seen as more authoritative, which by extension will make you look more confident, because think about people who move their hands. Politicians, they move their hands. CEOs, they move their hands. You don't see the fucking beta male bitch moving his hand. You see, well, I think you should stop doing that. That fucking hurts. Please stop punching me in the face. You see people that are in charge move their fucking hands. So it's going to make you look more confident, one, and two, it's going to make you more entertaining. That's very important. Now, that's it for practicing, and that's it for body language. Those two alone will get you to 50%, 0% to 50% on being a master communicator. That alone. If you just get those two down, your life is going to be much easier because you're going to be a master communicator. People are going to perceive you as more confident. Okay? I just gave you life-changing shit. Now, like I said, I'm going to make this the most essential stuff. I'm not going to teach you the small things like persuasion, like social skills. I'll teach you the main concepts so that you can adopt it into your life and change your life as fast as possible. Now, the very last point I want to touch on is your words. So naturally, when you're practicing, you're speaking, you're talking about football, you're talking about fucking your hobbies, your weird hobbies, like playing Dungeons and Dragons, talking about your weird hobbies like pogo sticks, jumping on pogo sticks, whatever it is. You're going to be talking and you're going to get to a point where you pause, right? But you're going to notice that you're pausing too much. You're pausing way too much. So the way you can combat that and the way you can speak more coherently and fluently is by learning more words. So every time you hear a word online or you hear a word in person that you don't know, let's say amalgamate. You hear that in a fucking YouTube video somewhere. You need to look that up. Look that shit up. Look up the definition and then start using it into your day-to-day life. Let's say you think about the word coherence. You don't know what it means. You look it up, look at the definition, look at it if it's an adjective, a noun, whatever it is, and you start using it into your day-to-day life. This is going to help you make more precise points, but this is also going to help you speak more fluently. You're not going to pause here and there. You're not going to have micro stutters, micro pauses. It's going to make your vocab and speech fluent. Because that was the problem that I've been facing recently. I just didn't know enough words so that when I was speaking on camera and I was practicing, I would come across as boring and I would pause a lot. It's because I didn't know enough words. So anytime you see a word that you don't know or you fucking hear it or you see it in the YouTube video, look it up, look up the definition and start using this word in your day-to-day life. That's going to make your speech sound much better because you're going to learn about different words. You're going to sound much more smarter too. I could say I'm speaking clearly, but I could also say I'm speaking succinctly. There's a difference. And that makes you sound, one, more intelligent. It makes your speech easier to talk about because it's going to be super fluent because you know all these fucking words. It's going to make you sound less repetitive. It's going to make you much more entertaining and much more precise with your words. Anytime you see a word you don't know, look it up, start using it. That's going to improve your speech drastically. Now, I basically gave you absolutely everything you need to know on how to become a master communicator. That's literally everything. That's going to take you to 50% of master communicator. Now, if you want to learn the advanced stuff, the fucking persuasion, the social skills, like what do? Do you smile here in this situation? Do you not? You want to learn phrases. You want to learn debate. You want to learn how to make comebacks. You want to learn about arguments. Whatever situation you come across in your day-to-day life, it's all in the communication lab. This shit right here, all you need to know, but the communication lab is going to take you to that next level. The communication lab, the program I made it because I wanted to gather all the knowledge I have on communication in every single realm, combine it into one and put it into one place for people to learn about. Now, if you want to become a master communicator, I already gave you a lot of shit. If you want to take it to the next level, you can join the communication lab. It's on pre-sale. I haven't finished the courses yet, but it's on pre-sale. And once you buy it, it's going to be a place where I'm going to DM you and you're going to tell me what course you want. I'm going to make that course specifically for you in the communication lab. I'm going to cover this topic, that topic, whatever topic you want. All going to be in the communication lab. It's the autistic level detailed shit. that's going to make you a master communicator. It's going to make you more social. It's going to make your life more fulfilling. It's going to make people respect you. All of that. It's on the Communication Lab. If you want to join because you're serious about this, then you can click the link in the description. It's going to change your life, as it did mine.